All right, welcome back in here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andy Mack. Let's turn our attention out west as we're learning more news about the death of Brandon Blackstock, the ex-husband to Kelly Clarkson. As this posted on the New York Post, Kelly Clarkson's ex-husband Brandon Blackstock dead at 48 after a prolonged battle with cancer, some 3 years. Let's take you right now out to this conversation I had with TMZ about this loss. Live now from Fox, I'm Andy Mack. Some sad news out of the entertainment industry as Brandon Blackstock, the ex-husband to Kelly Clarkson, former talent agent and former manager, has died at the age of 48 after a battle with cancer. Of course, this on social media, courtesy of Fox News, saying Brandon Blackstock, the ex-husband to Kelly Clarkson, the singer, the artist, American Idol icon, dead at 48. They also released a statement talking about this, saying it's with great sadness that we share the news that Brandon Blackstock has passed away. Brandon bravely battled cancer for more than 3 years. He passed away peacefully, surrounded by his family. We thank you for your thoughts and prayers and ask everyone to respect the family's privacy during this very difficult time. Let's be joined right now by TMZ's Branson, Quirke. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. And obviously, very sad news. What more can you tell us?
Yes, very, very sad news for Kelly, her family. I think it was great that the family did surround him during that very, very heartbreaking moment. And this happened just this morning. Sources with direct knowledge tell us that this was just a few hours ago. And we know as well that in terms of what he was dealing with, the cancer, he was dealing with melanoma, which is a very, very serious and aggressive form of skin cancer. And he had been battling that for 3.5 years. So now, learning this fact that he had been dealing with this for so long, this now gives us answers to why Kelly Clarkson had been stepping away many, many times in the past, including her Vegas residency. Just to bring up the most recent, everybody was very concerned as of yesterday when she announced that she was going to have to postpone those Vegas residency dates until the end of August, releasing a statement online this time around revealing the fact that yes, she has a very private life, but she did reveal that her ex-husband is very ill and that she needs to be with her children, which I think is the most important thing, family.
Yeah, of course, this was the post just yesterday on social media saying she needed to postpone the remainder of that residency in Vegas due to that personal family life. And like you mentioned, this battle has been going on for some 3 years. And of course, Kelly Clarkson, very public. Blackstock comes from a very public family, was the stepson to Reba McEntire when his father married that country superstar as well. How did they keep this so private? Obviously, this is a very difficult battle. Did we hear any rumblings about it over the 3 years?
There were rumors as of recent that he may be ill. Nothing confirmed whatsoever. And actually, interesting fact too, the crew of Kelly Clarkson's show, they kept this under wraps for a very long time. I myself worked on Kelly Clarkson's show years ago. And let me tell you what an amazing crew that she has behind her. And the fact that they were able to keep this private for her, because I think that she deserved this completely, to not have this out in the public eye. There were times on the show where people were speculating whether or not Kelly was going to be leaving Kelly Clarkson's show. People thought that she had wanted out. And maybe some of those rumors were true because she was having to go back and forth to Montana, where her home is, and with her children, and family was obviously the most important. But in terms of keeping this private, they did a really, really good job on keeping that from the public eye, which again, I think is just so important that even celebrities need to have privacy.
Yeah, and you don't really know what a person is going through until some of these details come out, because obviously the battle lasting some 3 years. You mentioned just maybe your connection to Kelly Clarkson, and people know that name from her work in the music industry, her career there with American Idol, really rising to fame right there. Talk about their relationship, because obviously they spent some time, they were married for almost a decade. Of course, he was her manager. Can you tell me more about who Brandon was? Obviously, through the family lineage that he had with Reba McEntire as well. Can you tell me more about Brandon?
Sure. I mean, he managed some big names, including Blake Shelton, Rascal Flatts. So he's no stranger to the spotlight, no stranger to the big time in terms of managing as people as massively influential as Kelly Clarkson. We do know that they had met all the way back in 2006. And then it took about another 6 years before they reconnected, actually at a Super Bowl party. In that same year, in 2012, they were engaged and later married in 2013. They have 2 children together. And a really interesting part of this is his role in her career, not only being her manager, her husband as well. We know for a fact, and sources tell us this as well, that Brandon was very instrumental in her even taking on the Kelly Clarkson show, taking on wanting to host a talk show. He was the one that pushed her to even do this. So without Brandon involved, I don't think we would have even have seen Kelly Clarkson show whatsoever. And everybody loves Kelly Clarkson show. Again, I worked on this project briefly, and let me tell you, this is just a very bright show. She brings so much fun and happiness to the show, and it's unlike anything that's I've ever seen before in terms of a talk show. And I think that him pushing her to do this was absolutely the right move.
Yeah, what a bright light she is to transition from the music industry and performing on stage to having the conversations, having some of those fun but also important conversations with different celebrities is very fascinating to watch. We talk about the postponement of her residency in Vegas. Is there a timeline on that? How much does she rely on music to potentially find some normalcy?
Well, Kelly, let me tell you, she is one of the busiest people in the industry. At one point on the Universal backlot here in Hollywood, she was working on Kelly Clarkson's show. And then, fun fact, the Voice stage is not far from there as well. So she would quite literally film her talk show in the morning and then run over to the Voice. And then also on top of that, doing interviews, taking care of the kids, recording new music. She had a studio inside of her stage right up there on the top of the building. So she had everything that she needed in one spot. But let me tell you, she was busy. And just to give her kudos on this, trying to deal with all of this at the same time is so difficult. And in terms of the Vegas residency, I think that in terms of a timeline, we can't really pinpoint anything like that as of right now, especially with the fact that this just happened this morning. Unclear if she knew that this was going to happen as of last night when she said that she was going to postpone until the end of August. But it looks like right now her children just need her, and you can never put a timeline on your children and how they're feeling.
Yeah, obviously they've been battling this for 3 years, and it all happened very quickly at the end.
And her fans will understand. Her fans will absolutely understand.
Oh, and they will be there to support her through it all. Branson, thank you so much. I know Hollywood mourning, the music industry mourning, Nashville country music mourning the loss there. Brandon Blackstock, the former husband of Kelly Clarkson. I appreciate your time here on Live Now from Fox. Thanks again.
Thank you, Andy.
All right, thank you so much for that conversation. A lot of key information in there on who Brandon Blackstock was. Of course, the former manager to Kelly Clarkson, former husband to Kelly Clarkson there, dead at the age of 48 after a 3-year-long battle with cancer, as you heard from Branson talking about it being melanoma, the skin cancer, very aggressive, a very dangerous one. So obviously a sad day there in that community as she has postponed her residency or concerts in Vegas until later on this year. We'll see when that resumes. I'm Andy Mack. We're back after this.